afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero, Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to our 1 vs 1 on Caen. Sailing away somewhere on the Eastern Front, some Ukrainian urban city under assault by the Red Army. We got here Zyswen fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 5th Mechanized Corps in the north. We got Findeed fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision with Breakthrough, Overwatch, and Special Operations Double Infantry Soldaten versus NKVD, Armored Assault, and Third Industry here with Double Mines and Infantry for Zyswen. Straight into the Strafniki bill there with the Special Rifle Command, and the Pilgrims was on the way there. Double Volksgruß for Indeed, as he believes in the true power of Deutsches Infanterie, die besten Infanterie in die Welt. Volks are moving ahead there in the east. Sturmpani is advancing out there for Findeed, for the fatherland. Sturmgewehrs clenched tightly in their hands. Engineers rushing out there for Zyswen. He'll probably go for as many pills as he can early on. Note this sort of build he goes for slightly less than average. Most players go for the double engineers or conscripts. That way they don't suffer a huge drop in like capping ability than the early game, because that's sort of a risk of what Zyswen is doing. Of course, you do push more units up faster the Special Rifle Command, but again, it comes at a cost of map control. So depending on how it goes, it can quickly backfire on you, and you usually do not want that to happen. First engagement in the West, Volksgruß versus Engineers, Carnot TKs versus Mosin and Gun, and a piano also involved in this. Sturmpani is moving up there in the east. Volksgruß is almost done there for Findeed. So only getting to push out more infantry. Of course, Zyswen's brilliant, devious, cunning plan. One of the most cunning plans in all of history is to get a scout car really fast and run over Findeed with it, since he has no real counters to it. I mean, Findeed, could push out a very little Academy, go for double Sturmpaniers, but most Oberkommandos players tend not to go for that fast. He just wants, grab a lot of territory, and then he'll react with Academy most likely once the scout car sort of hits. The M3A1 light scout car, while it was American Lend-Lease equipment, was primarily used by Russian advanced forces, what was known as the Rotarazvedki, sort of a exploitation force meant to sort of look for weaknesses in the German lines and hit hard, hold the line, or that particular gap until the main Russian army could punch through. Folks is falling back. You're going to use the house here as a blockhouse, that way make it harder there for Zyswen just to move about there, since Scout car can't easily deal with them inside the building, and they can't just be pushed around ours. They can sort of fire more freely. I mean, they can't take down the scout car fast, but they can force to divert them, because it's just going to be a waste of the scout car and its abilities. Folks are moving about there. Rakenev is on the way there for Findeed. Mines being laid down as well to catch up any potential Russian, particularly their scout cars. Folks are about to get flanked. Rakenev are down there for Findeed and the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. A division which saw quite a bit of action throughout the World War II in many different fronts, and was rather unique in a lot of ways, in part because it was the Luftwaffe's only Panzer division. Initially also Panzer division, and in fact sort of had many roles throughout the war. Initially started in fact out as Hermann Göring's own personal flak unit, for example, and then was slowly upgraded throughout the war, and that ended up as a full Panzer Corps. Fun fact. Pilgrims was moving out there for Zyswen. Scout car on the move there. But so action in North Africa, so action in Italy, so action in the Eastern Front, and its training and replacement battalion also saw action during Market Garden, where it basically was in command of a series of coastal units as well, so it became a very large training and replacement battalion somehow. In the west, we've got Volksgruß Engineers, shots being fired across here. Engineers taking minor losses. Total should be engagement there. Findeed can win in the south there. Scout car hit the mine. That's a definite win there for Findeed, who actually goes into Breakthrough Doctrine. Or Durchbruch Doktrinen. We got Fulton versus the Strafniki here. More people for Zyswen. No son of Doctrine for him. We'll obviously if Findeed actually goes for the Sturmoffizier. Rather, overlooked unit, but actually pretty good if you know how to use the abilities, and of course use the officers themselves. The units actually are pretty good. I mean, you're essentially almost getting a full Obersoldaten squad, except again for the officer with his pistol, his little Luger. And that regard can be pretty good on top of the bonuses you give to other units. I mean, most players just use them to create a blob, but I mean, just backing up units here and then, flanking all that is pretty good. And again, the abilities are solid. In the west here, we got Fulton. They're using the breakthrough tactics, or Durchbruch Taktiken. Tactics, whatever. So you quickly move out, then cut off territory there. basically looking to disrupt Zyswen's resources, blowing apart his poster thing there and some debris. Zyswen though was able to rout the officer pretty rapidly, on the Sturmpanies pretty rapidly. The officer's moving up east side, and the west there, folks moving up, routed by the penal troops in the centre, moving up there again. Great use of breakthrough tactics, by the way, again. It's a very overlooked ability alongside, I think, most of the doctrine, but if you know how to use it, it can be, well, quite disruptive. It can be quite effective to quickly getting the upper hand here and there, and slowing down your opponent's resource income. So as you can see that all of a sudden, Findeed has very rapidly cut off most of Zyswen's resources. You can occasionally gain up engagement, and there you go, Penals was the officer. That should be a win there for the officer. I think the Penals are low on health, and of course again, we're talking an almost full Oberstein squad, backed up with a guy with a Luger. I mean, the Penal troops do not stand much of a chance. There you go, routed easily. Nice little win there for Findeed and for the fatherland. Troops are here reinforcing, whether it's going to be the Battle Group headquarters or the mechanized reckoning there for Findeed. What will it be? What will it be? Apparently none of them, since he's reinforcing his troops. Back here in Zyswen's space, we've got more penal troops. He's going for a 4 penal trooper build. That is quite aggressive. No sign of doctrine yet for him, but let's see what it ends up with. I mean, theoretically, he could go for NKVD just to go, well, I've got an officer of my own. You know, that way, try and use the NKVD and the command squad abilities, which kind of work a bit like that, except where you, with the Storm Officer, target any unit, so you kind of target your own, so that way, boost them. So that could sort of be an interesting counter there from Zyswen. Or you could, of course, go for armored assault tactics, very common. You could go for certain industry, in which case he goes a bit, avant-garde. Points there being secured, grabbing the eastern fuel point here. Engineers seizing territory on the west. Zyswen, though, so overall seems to be more control of the fuel of Findeed. Again, Findeed is doing his best to slow down Zyswen and the Red Army. Sturmpani is laying down more mines. Very good work there by Findeed. Also doing what they can to slow up the rations there. And we do get the mechanized regiment up for Findeed and the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. Volkswagen versus the Strafniki. The SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle sitting out there versus the folks going to do his Caen TKs. Shots barking across here the street. Engineers coming up to flush out the Germans in the south. Continue to hold up here. 2 penal trooper squads with just 1 Volkswagen squad. That's not bad for Findeed, though. Not something he can maintain forever. No matter how fervently he believes in the superiority of the German soldier. Engineers routed here, but they're still the penal trooper squads. No engagement. I think Findeed is like to win unless Zyswen does something incredibly daft. Points there being secured back here. We got the mechanized regular up there for Findeed. Will it be the Lux? Will it be the Puma? Most likely the Lux. I mean, he could go for the Puma. There's not exactly a lot that really requires the Puma. So in that regard, of course, the logic dictates he goes to the Lux because that's the better choice now. Brandhunt gone out there enveloping the penal troopers there in a nice little lob of fire. Sturmpani is rubbing up there with the Sturmgewehrs. Troops are reinforcing. Healing. Points secured. Looks almost done there from deep. We got the check up there for Zyswen. The tank group battalion command. He'll probably pushing for some light armor there. He'll need to, by the way, to stop that Lux. And once more Findeed unwheels his nasty little trick there with breakthrough tactics. Mine's going off, then Zyswen's troops blowing off their feet and other bits they kind of need. Folks coming up here backed up by the Sturm Officer. A vicious assault here by Findeed. Fumes was there, slowly being worn down. He could try and, well, target them, but he doesn't have the mission for that. Looks almost done. Again, note how he quickly sneaks up. He doesn't go straight for the fuel point first, he just cuts it off, so that way he can just, initially just cut the fuel flow, then he can always just grab it. Nice little maneuver there by Findeed that we can see Zyswen doing the same down there. Interesting enough, he's not trying to flank with, say, the Sturm Officer, the Volkswagen. He's trying to get past him. He's just fighting out there. Not quite the most efficient way against there for Findeed. Volkswagen versus penal troops in the centre. Got the fuel point there in the west, already under neutral. And we got the Lux Leichte Aufklärungspanzer out here for Findeed. Equipped with the 2 cm Kampfwagenkanone, standard for most German reconnaissance vehicles, really. The vast majority of them, in fact. Going up with the Puma there, following up for that one. With its 50mm cannon. Roughly the same effect of a Panzer III's gun, I believe the light model, used in the Model M. Cis 3 field going away for Zyswen to help deal with the fascist vehicles, and we got Soviet industry tactics. Very avant-garde. With Allied supply drops in that quickly provide him fuel for his tanks. to destroy the fascists with the power of socialism. Folks versus penal troopers. Puma almost down there for Findeed. Also interesting way he's going about it. He's just clearly got this planned already, you know, sort of a light vehicular oriented strategy. We'll have to see what it leads into. It's not necessarily bad if, you know, for us feeling really bold, we could actually commit to 2 Luxes and 2 Pumas, which can actually be a surprisingly effective force combination. And early on, though it can be a bit tricky to manage, and obviously in that sense it's not necessarily for everyone, but I had some mild success with it years ago. Looks then engaging on the penal troopers there, quickly routing the forces officer, of course, backing it all up. Puma there roaming about on these streets. Engagement with that fuel point. Findeed's now pulling out a lead again. Zyswen, of course, can't thanks to the supply drops. Quickly push out armor, and I imagine a T-70 will be on Zyswen's priority list here to stall the fascist advance from the Hammergöring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. Strafnicker engaging with the Volkswagen Saab, but I don't know, maybe a theatre. Puma looks moving westward to deal with engineers for the fuel point. Now they're trying away for Findeed. Tunning wise, that's going to be a battle group headquarters. Don't tell me he's stalling for Yakti. Good God, that would be. Yeah. Anyways, T-7 on the way there for Zyswen and the Red Army. So far, 5th Mechanized Corps is finding its advance into the town centre here, struggling a bit under the heroic defence of Findeed and the Hammergöring. Fortunately, then they're laying up sandbags. Troops back here, good to go again. Raketenwerfer has not really seen much action. And we got the Kampfgruppe Hauptquartier up here for Findeed. We also got a support company on opening up there for Zyswen. Supplying, of course, with anti-tank weapons and probably some Maxims to help contain Findeed's furious infantry. Maybe furious fighting infantry. Just had another F there to that sentence. Sounds a bit smoother. In the east there, though, folks are backing up here by the 2 light vehicles. Those penal troopers will quickly have to retreat in the face of Findeed's Leichte Aufklärungsgruppe. T-70 hanging about here, waiting in the ruins, waiting for the right time to strike. Sturmpanies with the Sturm here, though, guarding this road, and suddenly found themselves guarding a rather armed load of Russian high explosives. There you go, the T-70 in here, taking advantage of the chaos of the movement of Findeed's forces to strike. But there you go, looks Puma going to strike here, hit the flank of the field gun. Nope, decides not to. And there you go, Sturm Officer routed alongside the Sturm of Pioniere. And we got Panzerfusiliers out here for Findeed. Fun fact, the Hammergöring Fallschirmpanzer Corps actually received a battalion's worth of those. A Teilung to be specific, sort of a core level unit, which is actually also armoured in half-tracks, or equipped with armoured half-tracks. Fun note there. People said they're catching that kid. Oh no, this is a big loss there for Findeed. That's a mistake. I'm guessing he was trying to ambush the T-70 to wedge it between the Puma and the T-70, but instead, that can end up being handed over to Zyswen. Oh, 9. That's a pretty nasty loss there for Findeed. I mean, it really didn't get to do a lot of damage to Zyswen. In fact, it more or less did nothing. At the same time, it can now be turned against Findeed and his vehicles, doubling the amount of anti-tank weapons that Zyswen has. That is gruesome. Panzer was moving ahead there. G-foot fleets on the way. Need to be careful. They've got penals with engineers moving. Plus, of course, the T-70 firing away there. Already down to half health. Numbers going to drop here quickly. Findeed, I think, might be struggling a bit here under the pressure of Zyswen. And we could see a wipe here. Oh, Scheiße. Findeed here made a bit of a blunder. Good here on the Puma. But he's lost the Raketenwerfer and the Panzerfusiliers. Plus, of course, the Raketenwerfer ended up in Zyswen's arsenal. That is big. That is a lot of manpower gone in the blink of an eye. I mean, we're looking at some in the area of 600 manpower gone like that without really doing any damage to Zyswen. That is a massive net loss for Findeed and the German army. So that's going to be a big win there for Zyswen, who has been struggling a bit. That should actually allow him to sort of turn the game around here versus Zyswen with a bit of Findeed for a bit of goodwill and ingenuity for Findeed. He's going to have to get a bit clever as well now. Though still, I think, has overall to a degree initiative here, thanks to the overall large amount of light vehicles, but still, that hurt. But I'll just go see what Zyswen does next. We got more fuel drops to inbound to quickly supply his tanks. Field gun T-70 running about the centre here. Puma needing repairs. Luke's running about here guarding the south. There you go, T-70 advancing right into the line of fire of the Puma and then retracting. Down here, healing enforcement. Can get those fuel crates in there quickly. But let's see what Zyswen does next. He could go for the H-6. He could try and go for the mechanized armor company. Here versus Findeed, who is going for third trucks. He's not just stalling into Yakti. Thank the heavens. So he's actually going to be taking up there. Interesting. Very interesting. And definitely not your average Oberkommando Weststrand is enacting. Admittedly, neither is Zyswen enacting the average Soviet strategy, of course. I mean, obviously, it's not the average Oberkommando Weststrand because he's not playing it. Maximal there for Zyswen to help deal with all Findeed's infantry. That's a really good idea. There we go. We got the field gun being targeted. Clever move there. T-7 moving in. Could see a loss here. Puma though arriving on the other side. And there we go. Oh, he actually managed, I think, to get a kill in the officer, causing all of Findeed's infantry retreat. Nice work there by Zyswen. More patriots out here for Findeed. Will these survive longer than the first group of hardened German infantry? Will these suffer the same fate? T-7 down to less than half health. Field gun quick recruit here. Need to be more careful with it next time. I mean, it could end up, being recruited or even just, supplying fuel. And there you go. Puma pop smoke. Steam pass clearing out. The field gun failed to attack ground here, at least fast enough. So the Puma likely is going to survive. Luke's going to move in. It's going to flank. Hit the Raketen for there from another side. And there you go. T-7's main gun out. Getting a bit dicey there. Also, Scrap Hunter quarters almost done. Can he rush it and take it out? Looks like the answer to that one is going to be no. Luke's moving in. Veterans you one gain. Fighting up here. Pims was riding here right outside the base. Panzergrenadiers got the G43s up. No medics by here for Findeed. Schwerer Panzerhauptquartier up. We'll be seeing Obersoldaten here for Findeed. I mean, he does have the doctrine for, or the bulletins for it. Another light supply drop here for Zyswen. No additional light vehicles. Makes me think he's going to go for the mechanized armor company. And certainly for him to stall for the KV2 would be rather silly. As for Findeed, a Panther 4 could work out well. Panther could also work. There's also the possibility, instead of stalling for the Yak Tiger, he's going to be stalling for the King Tiger, which is pretty risky. Not impossible if you can keep handling the light vehicles well, but risky. I mean, it's not without its, possibilities of things going horribly wrong. Straight into the Schwer Panther quarters here, Raketen running up, but with just one Raketenwerfer. And of course, it looks threatening flanks. That's not going to go well there for Zyswen. Grabbing the centre, moving up the west side. We can see that Findeed is on the offensive. Marches out for the fatherland. As for Zyswen, he can tech, but so far isn't. Hitting cut-off points, very nice. Could pop breakthrough tactics for a bit of extra speed there. And there you go, flanking the Maxim after the full essentially acted as bait. Field gun moving up here. Storm officer moving up, got the Puma backing up here. Veterans 1 by the way. Nice work. Looks also Veterans 1. And there you go. Zyswen's got the mechanized armor company up. What will we go for? T-34, 36, KV8s. HU-5s. What would we go for? Obviously, Storm's there, close being wiped out. In fact, it's just the officer left. Could see him go down, and he goes down. A full wipe down the Storm officer. Bit of a loss there for Indeed. I would say he's gotten reasonably good value out of him by now, so not as bad as it could be. Not like, say, there's Panzer Fusiliers and like Kedmir, who just got destroyed without really achieving anything noteworthy for the German army. Not even worth a footnote. So let's see where it goes. I mean, he can't go for the T-34-76 right now. Though whether Zyswen actually does that, of course, is an entirely different matter. We've got another fuel drop in there, so I think he isn't, which could indicate he might actually be aiming for the KV-8 heavy flamethrower tank or the HU-5. Since they do cost a bit more fuel-wise. You might want to consider repair station to help repair his T-70 and other armor he might get. I mean, that way you can sort of free up mental space, but also just, engineers to do other things. Well, he needs to get someone to pick up the fuel, otherwise he's not going to just stand there inert. Oh. Well, that was the end of that T-70. Hit a mine right in front of the Schwerpanzer headquarters. Worth noting here that Zyswen has not bothered with any minesweepers. Do not worry, Germans. We do not need minesweepers. We have belief in Stalin. How does that help against mines? Just shut up, Dimitri. I'm tired of your complaints. We can soon go for the KV if that is what he's planning. I mean, it could be a stall for the KV2, but again, it's not what I'd be, highly advising. Meanwhile, though, Findeed's main good strike in the west, taking advantage of Zyswen's advantage of big push there for the east to take out the Schwerpanzer headquarters. Field and Kevin setting up. I mean, no bother, you can actually try and envelop it, attack with infantry from all sides. The Schwerpanzer headquarters cannot be, told to target, it will keep just firing at the same target, so done correctly. If the spread's out sufficient, you can then close in with penal troops and just cover it in satchel charges and take it out. Bombarding it with the Schwerpanzer headquarters, not super efficient. Another Kedmov out there and quickly getting executed. The Kedmov being spotted. Need to shoot like Kedmov though pretty swiftly. Can just cut out the flank somewhat, got a maximum current further. KV8 is on the way there for Zyswen and the other enemy. For the 5th mechanized corner, there goes being absolutely obliterated here by the massive penal trooper horde here. Pretty much straight up execution team there, and takes out Findeed's Fulton squad entirely, leaves no survivors. Noting that Findeed has not replaced the Sturm officer and may not even replace the Volksgrenadiers. Being pushed away from the Schwerpanzer quarters, Findeed now getting both field points there, could allow him to push out for his planning. Could again be the Panther, but it doesn't look like it. Maybe a Panther again. He could be in for the Tiger. Looks coming in here. Field gun being pushed away there. Bad development here for Zyswen. Though he's almost got the KV8 heavy flamethrower tank there ready to burn his way through Findeed and his fascist friends. Troops are being suppressed with the Maxim though, but the issue still remains to Lux and the Puma, and popping an incendiary grenade to prevent him from grabbing the field gun. But still going to see another up here on Findeed. Another unit cut down in cold blood. The Zyswen actually lost the penal squad here as well. KV8 heavy flamethrower tank out, and there you go, fuel being grabbed as well here for Zyswen for the Red Army. Films list being cut to ribbons. KV8 switching over to the 45mm gun, had 2 guns in that sense. There you go, almost got the looks. It could take it out here with the KV8 maybe. That would certainly hurt Findeed quite a bit there. Yeah, it's going to hammer down those misses with it. There we go. KV8 took out the looks. We got a field gun recruit here by Findeed. Field gun shoots, misses. He's going to probably try and take out the Puma in camp, but they're going to sit switch over to the KV8 to burn away through Findeed's forces. There we go, field gun being scorched here by the fires of the Soviet Union. Stalin's dragon consumes all. So there we go, 3 kills on that one. Engineers versus Sturmpioneer. Findeed's actually suffered quite a few losses here against Zyswen. Needs to quickly make up for that. Of course, in the end, he does hold a lot of the map. In that regard, Findeed's been able to swiftly and aggressively control the map. And there you go, replacing finally some of the infantry losses with more Panzerfusilerer. Seizing the point, he got the Puma moving in. Jagdtiger is available, but again, it's very much starting to look like Findeed is playing for the King Tiger, the Königstiger, the Tiger 2. KV8 they're routed once more. And in this regard, of course, the aggressive map control here from Findeed has helped towards that. So again, while Zyswen's more focused on the Schwerpanzer quarters, Findeed was just focused on the fuel, and by that way able to, I think, leap towards the King Tiger. So nice play there by Findeed. Good use of his light vehicles, by the way, as well. Good use of the doctrine, good harassment. Thumbs up all the way. Panzer was there on watch. His infantry and preservation has been a bit more, so and so, but I mean, he's up against the Russians who can very quickly wipe things with the KV8s and the T70s. Whatnot, though, again, there were some of the units that just got wiped with no real purpose, like that Panzer squad there. And it's going to work here fixing up the KV8 using self repairs as well, but again, he could build, just a repair station. Maxim versus Panzerfusilerer. Puma being fixed up, Veteran T2. Field gun back for repairs. There we go, flanking with the Pinochet forcing out the Panzerfusilerer. Nice work. Puma on the move again, Vets need 2. Has Findeed actually bothered to repair pioneers? He has. And medics too. Thumbs up to Findeed. KV8 good to go once more for Zyswen. By late stage of the war, though, I think most KV8s were gone and they were replaced by T-34s equipped with flamethrowers. Basically replacing the whole machine gun with a flamethrower there. And he's routed. Push for the centre here. Up north point's being seized. And we got the King Tiger out here for Findeed for the fatherland. Equipped with a high velocity 88mm gun, same as using the Pak 43, used by the Yak Panther as well. And the Nashorn tank destroyer. A very potent gun that could knock out those tanks. In the actual war there, go directly on the KV8. The King Tiger is a fearsome opponent and will cause some so tactical to just get the hell out of there, but kick out with one. So King Tiger advancing here, machine guns blazing away even as the KV8 is trying to light it on fire. Lakednov shoots, bounces off the armor. Lakednov retreating right past. Right in front of the KV8, field gun shoots. Fails to penetrate there. Almost got the KV8 engineers moving in. Puma shoots, gets a good hit there. King Tiger almost down. Lakednov crew down. The Pumas were flanking in. And the KV8 goes down. Munitions cooked off by the King Tiger. Well, flamethrower munitions, I suppose. Flamethrower fuel. Panzer folks flanking up there. Nice push. The King Tiger's almost down here. Lakednov sees as well here. But overall, a bit of a mess there for Zyswen and the Red Army as Findeed and the Hamgering Falchion Panzerdivision strikes. Lakednov crew killed again. Fuel drop in here for Zyswen. We'll have to see what it goes for. Likely an HV5 tank destroyer. And quickness is about salvaging here. Very nice, very nice. King Tiger though is in dire need for some repairs. Quickly pulling back there. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Also worth noting there would have been no Panzerguard King Tigers. That was a colour that was quickly dropped, I think, by, 1944-43. They would be using Dunkelgelb, sort of dark yellow, and that will later be replaced sort of in the final stages of the war with Dunkelgrün, dark green. Fun note there. Penal troops like Lakednov moving out, HV5 halfway down there for Zyswen for the Red Army. Roaming about there, half 8 to Vetsny 3. Not shabby there, not shabby. Seizing the eastern victory point there. Victory points wise, Findeed does have the lead here over Zyswen. Big push here, and in the east, engineers was the Panzerfusilerer. He's gone for 3 squads now, that is a lot. HV5 almost down there. But of course it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the 6-man squad is just overall harder for tanks to wipe out. It looks like Heinz briefly remembered something there from army school and aggressively T-posed there. Anyways, on watch here. Except for Jurgen, who's crawling away in pain. Quick engagement around the centre. In the west, we got Patriots versus Penal Troopers. More Penal Troopers arriving. Could try and flank up here, get past them, sort of hit them, but cover doesn't count. Ooh, savage shot in the centre, and Fitz too slow there. Found himself blown to bits. Panzer is retreating for now. King Tiger almost good to go here. Sturm Pioneers and Repair Pioneers hard at work and sorting out the King Tiger's bits. HV5 tanks are ready. And there we go, King Tiger on the move once more here for Findeed. Setting out there, another fuel drop for Zyswen. Crashing through the ruins. HV5 shoots and fails to hit. Second shot though bounces, a bit unfortunate. King Tiger quickly, disengages. Doesn't want to waste time there. We'll have to see what Zyswen does next, though. Will he go for double HV5s? Will he try and go for the KB2? Will he go for T-34-6s? What will Zyswen do in the face of fascist opposition? MD-34s are here to help deal with Zyswen infantry. Good investment there. King Tiger slowly setting out there, close to Veteran Z1. Puma's going in for flank there, nice work by the looks of it. There you go, push it, HU5 tank slow spotted. And anti-tank rifle grenade, interesting choice there. Puma instead now covering the flank here against any movement there, but Findeed or Zyswen that's not quite working out. King Tiger taking hits here from the HU5 tank destroyer. Slightly pushed back. Puma versus Penal Troopers. What will Zyswen do? Retreat. Starting to get the impression here that Zyswen might be trying now to stall for the KV2 heavy tank versus Findeed, which would be a rather bold choice. Considering the overall fuel situation that could backfire Zyswen, even if he makes a lot of fuel drops. Puma flanking in there, taking direct hit here, they're almost taken out. Close to Veteran free as well though. King Tiger push up for the center, and then up there from Findeed. Another Panzer for the squad bites the dust, and we got a Panzer on the way there for Findeed and the Hammond going. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Max and firing at the Fulton Community, usually 5 trying to catch the King Tiger here. 300 points left there for Findeed. He is slowly bleeding him out. That size one, he is slowly bleeding him out. Fulton's routed. King Tiger rolling back here, close to Veteran Z1. Back here, troops reinforcing. Main march down to look like a KV2 play there by Zyswen. Panzer almost done there for Findeed. Strafnicki setting out. MB-34 getting blasted there and almost taken out. In fact, gets killed there. Rather bad development there for Findeed if Zyswen was able to further seize. But like Ken, they're pushing back the King Tiger, doing a lot of damage there. Findeed wisely pulls back here, but it does mean that Findeed can, or Zyswen can maintain more map control here. Perhaps with overwhelming the penal troopers there in the west. Troops being routed in to deal with that. Looks like Zyswen is not far off here from the KV2. Dropping in some more supply drops there to help assist in getting out faster. Veteran before Panzer for these, Panther 4 they're moving in as well. Pin map machine being added. Very good position there by Findeed. King Tiger back for repairs. Panzer is putting a bit of problem there for Zyswen there. Good direct hit from HU5 on the Panzer 4. Another hit there, down to half health already. Not good there for Findeed. Back here, healing enforcement. Fuel crates can, of course, be seized. There we go. That's going to put him very close here to the KV2. In fact, half a minute away. At which point he can call in this massive armored monstrosity from the early, war bits. King Tiger on the move again, fixed up Panzer IV. The next receive the Pioneer treatment in the south. Puma moving in here, 7 kills. And more Panzer with the Indeed. Not attempted also despite not having bulletins for it. Animations for the light machine guns as well. King Tiger advancing there, crushing through some of the ruins with its mighty weight and mighty gun. Findeed's got the, Zyswen's got the fuel. He just needs some manpower to get the KV2. He's not far off from that one either. Not far at all. There you go. Direct hit from the King Tiger straight into the midst of the penal troopers. Obliterates Sergei, Yuri, Dmitri, and Boris. And then another hit almost obliterates the other unit entirely as well. 19 kills from the King Tiger. Veterans who 1 HU5 gains as well. And there we go. We got the KV2 heavy assault tank out for Zyswen. Equipped with a 152mm gun. Puma going for the HU5. There you go. Aim shot. Stuns up the HU5 there. Nice work there with Findeed. They can't quite seem to follow up with it. But it does allow him to maybe get away with the Panzer IV here. Puma by the veteran fleet, that is very good. Gets a nice damage bonus, which I believe for some reason also applies to the coaxial machine gun, or at least it used to, which meant the coaxial machine gun could very quickly tear apart infantry. They may have nerfed that one, sadly. Was kind of fun. When you were the one using it, that is, admittedly. King Tiger and sent us the Kidnapper, the ace crew here. Getting the King Tiger shots are bouncing now. KV2 moving in, HV5 needs to move in to deal with it as well. KV2 moving in. Oh, Panzer's nearby. Great shot there, bounces off the King Tiger's armor. It's moving to back up and damaging the HV5. That's a really bad one there for Zyswen, since that means he can't easily catch up to the King Tiger and begin blasting in with that 85mm gun. Fuel drop in again here for Zyswen, probably to bring in more armor. Faster, but right now Zyswen's very much in the defense. He's down 122 versus Findeed's 277. Some work needs to be done there, I think, to retain initiative or regain initiative and control the field. Going ahead with the KV2 here. Quickly popping up. He's also holding it to not fired infantry, which is what's basically around there. Also a bit of a weird choice to shoot when they're in order to lock down, so it's just fires faster overall, so it doesn't matter. Begin shooting after infantry. Another Panzer on the way for Findeed. 100 points, in fact less than that left here for Zyswen. Yes, I think a lot of attempts to shoot there at the front gun is a bit of a waste, I think, by Zyswen. People there getting blasted by the King Tiger. HV5 shoots. Panzer on the way there for Findeed. Great hit here by the Puma. Another hit as well. They're down to half health. In fact, less than half health. Great hit by the HV5 and the King Tiger. And a direct hit here by the KV2 on the Panzer, which has up north here, point being secured, but there's a lot of infantry piling in here from Findeed on Zyswen's forces. Panzer is routed, 2 Panzer forces, then a Puma and a King Tiger. That's a lot of armor which you feel like Zyswen cannot easily contend with, in particular when he's also just only got a single Academy after that, even if it's in feet to back it all up with. King Tiger slowly approaching half health, HV5 in the Academy backing it up. Shoots, misses, Panzer still then obliterated by the KV2 there, 5 kills. 57 points left versus Findeed's 277. King Tiger down to half health. The HG5 keeps hammering away. The half H veteran 3 of North Panzers there, routed by the Penal Troopers, routed by the Panzer. God damn it. Max and their veterans 2 grabbing the center victory point. The HG5 and KV2 is going for the Panzer 4. Direct hit here. Panzer 4 down to almost half health, but not quite. HV5 with exposure, needs to be careful here. Puma moving in. There you go. Got the Panzer 4 Puma. Direct hit from the HV5. There you go. Shoots the veteran 4 gained. Increased range. KV2 there takes it. And there you go. Puma's going to take out the HV5 most likely. And does it. Only a band though, but still a bit of loss here. Panzer 4 gun for the KV2 Puma there in front of everything. Taken out by the Academy now for the heavy armor losses here from both sides. Panzer 4. Devastating hit for the KV2. Going to tank. Decides to see for him to pop on. He's finally going for anti-tank rifles here, by the way. Might benefit from that a bit soon. Like Kevin versus the King Tiger advancing. KV2 blasting away. Panzer 4 escapes. KV2 down to less than a quarter of health here. Like Kevin for wiped out. King Tiger does also, but there's increasingly fewer threats to deal with it. Panzer 4 going for it again. Anti-tank rifles almost down there for Zyswen. Panzer 4 takes a direct hit there from the KV2. Going for it though. Shoots. Misses. KV2 might be able to take out the Panzer 4 in the center of the King Tiger. Keeps away. We've got 30 victory points left for Zyswen. And there you go, the Panzer 4 explodes, leaving King Findeed with only the King Tiger. And Zyswen with just the KV2. Only the Titans are left in this battlefield. Everything smaller has been wiped off, that is, armor-wise. Infantry, there's still plenty. Moving up with the KV2 here. Shoots the Puma wreckage. In the south, Panzer was just shouting at the Penal Troopers there, 27 versus 28 kills. Pop green grenade here. The Stielhandgranate. Ooh, that's going to win in the fight there. King Tiger moving in. Findeed's risking all. There you go. Veteran 2 on the King Tiger. Increased turret rotation, increased accuracy. Panzer versus the Penal Troopers got more winning this time. They were the anti-tank rifles. Routing the Panzer Brigadiers. More out for Findeed. 265. And there he goes. Trying to fix up the HV5. Got Panzer Brigadiers going to have to, I think, immediately recruit. Except he can't going to have to sacrifice, and he needs to do that, and he might still have to do it. Oh no, that's an engineer squad lost there for Zyswen. He still hasn't bothered a repair station, by the way. KV2 they're forced to stop its repairs. to back up the 85. The engine is blazing like a gate to hell. Can't imagine being that uncomfortable driving. The situation for Zyswen is nothing short of desperate. He's holding 2 victory points, for questions for how long can he do that versus Findeed, who just has all more infantry, and his armour, while not in the best state, can still move pretty freely comparatively. Zyswen can't. And again, he just lost one of his engineer squad in the process. I mean, this is kind of a repair station earlier. I think would have paid off a lot now for Zyswen. Could also try and push out T-3476, maybe. That could help him a bit here. Peons there almost annihilated with a single hit from the King Tiger. Only one survivor, one man left standing. As a warning to the rest. Peons moving headed straight to the line of how the King Tiger. Sturm Pioneers are taking around a loss. Peons there obliterated by the King Tiger. At 40 kills on that King Tiger. An absolute beast. A champion. King Tiger almost good, or KB2 almost good to go there. Grenade wipes out the penal troops there. Zyswen is bleeding out into fast. He's down to 19 points here. 16. 13. King Tiger moves ahead there. KB2 ready to fire. Direct hit on the Panzer Fusiliers. 43 kills from the King Tiger. 44 kills. 45. 4 points left for Zyswen. 1, and that's GG. No matter how I don't get it, GG, game over. A loss there for the Red Army, a victory for Findeed. A brutal fight here with some interesting tactics and strategies. Findeed was a nice Puma looks handling, some good use of the King Tiger. Maybe I'd like to see some orbital boats, say good use of the Doctrine, overall great use of breakthrough tactics in the early game to slow down Zyswen's income there. Zyswen, I think, handled things reasonably well, but there are a few issues here and there, and I don't know if I don't think the doctrinal use was the correct one. I think it should have gone for something else. I think that would have benefited Zyswen notably more. I think NKVD with the comments I could have thrown helped out his penal troops a lot here versus Findeed, as an example, or T-35 farms would have been very useful. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell your friends, tell your families, but don't tell your enemies. There's some Imperial links in cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.